Hey, hey, Courtney. We're about to get started in a minute. Come on in. I'm trying to figure out if I could change the thumbnail while I'm on here. I'm sorry. I'm probably not going to review Married at First Sight Australia. Hi, TM. Hi, Lexi. Did y'all watch the little marriage special, the matchmaking special? If not, I'm just going to tell y'all all about it anyway, but hey, everybody. Oh, what's up, Courtney? Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna try to review it, but that show, the Australia version, I couldn't get into it. I'm so sorry. Okay, you watched it, Lexi? That's okay. It's okay, y'all. If y'all didn't watch it, I mean, it really wasn't much to it. I've never actually watched. This is my first time actually watching a matchmaking special or like anything other than like the wedding. Usually, I start on the weddings, but it was what it was. I don't think I was missing too much, but I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. Okay, I was trying to change the thumbnail. I don't think I can do that until I get off of here, so that's okay. There are a couple of couples that do look like I'm a little bit excited about. I think they have a chance, but then there are other ones that I'm just like, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I watched the little after show with Kevin Frazier. I watched that too. I actually had to watch that one because I deleted the matchmaking before I could take notes. So I watched the second one. That's the one I took notes with. I know, quarantine got you doing stuff you wouldn't normally do. So, okay, I'm going to ask everyone to leave a like down below. Also, check out my website, liviadorsastyle.com, where you can find cute accessories like the ones I'm wearing now. These are actually back in stock, the little cassette tapes. So, y'all check out my website. It will be in the description on the replay. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So, I took some notes. Let me see who I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with... I'm going to start with Woody and Amani. Now, this is so ratchet. I'm holding the microphone like this. I should be having it sitting on something, but it's in my lap. Anyway, this is Woody, who is 30 years old. His caption was, "The life of the party." Okay. So he's a math teacher as well as a coach, and he has a very active lifestyle. He considers himself stylish, and he said he didn't want any kids before, but now that he's in his 30s, he does want kids. His father wasn't really in his life, so I'm thinking maybe that has something to do with it. He's very outgoing, and let me just tell you, I don't want to judge people too early, but he gives me Nate from a few seasons ago. I don't know if y'all remember Nate, but they matched Nate up with Sheila. He reminds me of Nate, and that's not necessarily the best thing, because Nate was really like a player. He knew exactly what to say, very charming. But then he turned out to be a cheater and just manipulative all the way around, if you ask me. I want them to work, but obviously he fits the usual vibe of dudes who don't really want to be married. Exactly. That's how I feel. And I hate to say that already, but that's just how I feel. Y'all are getting Nate too. Okay, y'all feel me? And I can't believe Nate still claim he didn't cheat. I can't believe that. But yes, that's what I get from him. Like he seems like a partier, like he's still in that party lifestyle. You know, but his the one that he was matched up with, she claims to like to go out and things of that nature. So maybe they're on the same page. Her name is Amani, and she's 29. Her caption was calm, cool, and collected. She's a program director for a nonprofit. She says she's dealt with plenty of heartbreak in the past, and she likes mature older men. And you know, Woody is only a year older than her, so I you know, they don't really seem like what she actually wanted. But she said she also wanted someone who was involved with community, like within the community. And you know, Woody is a teacher, he's a coach, so it seems like they you know, their occupations can go hand in hand. So in that aspect, they seem like they would match. But like I said, he gives me Nate vibes. He gives me Nate vibes. I want him to prove us wrong too, Lexi. He could be a good guy, and that just could be the way he's coming off. But I just the way he was presenting himself. The mature factor, yes, Miracle. I can see the mature factor coming into play. Definitely. Amani is very pretty. Whenever I compare their, you know, the footage of both of them, I could see that she seems like she is more laid back. But then when you look, when the experts said they look at her social media, she likes to go out a lot, she likes to dress up, she likes to do this, she likes to do that. So maybe she would enjoy somebody like Woody that will kind of push her out of her comfort zone. It seems like the experts were matching people who weren't compatible. They were purposefully doing this. They were giving people the opposite of what they asked for. That's what I'm saying. Like when she said that she wanted someone older, Woody is only 30, she's 29. That's not really, you know, that's not really too much older. And then one of the other contestants that we're going to talk about later on, she said the same thing, and that made me think, like, why are y'all going against what they said they wanted? But you know, they always can find a way to justify it. But what I did appreciate about the special was that Pastor Cal was being very honest about who he didn't think was going to work. And yeah, I appreciated that, because they were honest about, well, I don't know if this is going to work, but you know, Dr. Pepper was pushing it. So we'll see how this turns out. I have hope for them. But will they make it? That's the question I want to ask about each couple. Just by looking at them and from what I've told you so far, the information that we have so far, do you think they will make it? Personally, I am leaning more towards no, even though I want them to. Just realistically, I don't know. I'm leaning more toward no. Lexi says she's voting no. You think the experts will be a lot better at this? You would think. You would think. So yes, this was Woody and Amani. I'm very excited to see their story play out, though. They seem like no matter what, it's going to be entertaining. So I'm very excited. Okay, Miracle says no, and Brandy says none of them. Oh my goodness, she don't think none of them are going to last. Well, let's see. Let's at least get to the next person. Okay. Let me zoom in a little bit. All right. So this is Henry and Christina. Okay. Henry is 34, and his title was Reserved Gentleman. He's very laid back, very go with the flow, he's not aggressive at all. He was heavier at one point in his life. and he lost a lot of weight, and it just seems as though he's carrying some of that with him. Like, maybe he used to get rejected, or in this society, when you gain a little bit more, you do get treated a certain type of way, and that can affect your self-esteem. And I think he's still holding on to some of that. And his occupation is a clinical recruiter. And that's pretty much all I have on him, because like I said, I forgot to take notes for this matchmaking special. So let's move on to Christina, who is 30. Her title is the Princess Bride. She is a flight attendant, and she says she usually chooses narcissistic men who like tend to be players. And she says that even though she's dated a lot of people, she's never gotten flowers, and she was very emotional about this. I think because she mentioned that she never really knew her father, I think there might be a little bit of daddy issues there, because that's put myself out there too much, but daddy issues I can tend to spot daddy issues. And, when she was getting emotional about never receiving flowers and only have received flowers from her father, she got really, really, really emotional. So she needs someone who is going to really be attentive towards her and, be able to give her that attention that she's looking for, because she chooses men who don't truly seem to care about her. When they asked her, what she was looking for in a guy, she said tall, blonde, you know what I'm saying? So she tends to go for a specific type, and this guy seems to be outside of her type. So hopefully she's not unattracted to him when she sees him. The thing is with these people is they want what they want, and they have these things set in stone for what they want, but that hasn't worked for you so far. So I'm hoping that, the men and the women of this season are open and not being so shallow and focused on the looks and the outer appearance, and actually get to know the person and, get past looks. You might not necessarily be attracted to that person in the beginning, but let's see. Is there anything else about her? She says she's submissive, and she wants someone who's aggressive. And he also said the same thing. He wants someone that's more on the aggressive side because he's kind of passive. So I'm just like, how is this going to work when you have two like passive, low-key submissive partners? Who is going to take the dominant role? I'm hoping that Henry can step up, or, you never know, Christina might. Somebody has to take the more dominant role, and I am concerned about that. Now, let me see what y'all are saying. So I feel it's a no, since they are not matching couples on core values. Are they still using recruits? I have no idea if they're using recruits this season. Your expectations are very low. My issue is that they both asked for someone dominant. The experts matched up two passive, submissive people who asked for aggressors. They both wanted someone more outgoing. Yeah, that was my concern as well. I was just like, they both said they wanted somebody aggressive. How you gonna like set up two submissive people? How is that gonna work? What is a clinical recruiter? Is he going to recruit people for coronavirus testing? Oh my goodness, I really don't even know, but that's a good question. Okay. I thought the producers choose the couples. I would think the producers choose the couples. I think they make it seem like the experts have a lot to do with it. So I just go along with that idea. I just got here. I don't know who you're talking about, but I don't like that Brett. Oh, we're going to get to Brett. Tyronda, yes, I have daddy issues that I'm working on as well. I don't think we should be able to like hide behind daddy issues, but they are real and they should be acknowledged. I think her match could give her that, but I hope she doesn't self-sabotage and pulls him away. Me too. They put these people together knowing they're not going to work. They both asked for aggressive and got passive. Yes, saying not my type shouldn't be on the show. I agree, because your type has not been working for you thus far. So, also, did y'all notice that the experts seem to spend way too much time asking about sexual preferences? Yeah, but honestly, that can be a major thing in relationships. So I think that's probably what they show. That hopefully they just showed a lot of that, because people like to, people like to see people squirm for questions like that and like to see their answers. It's like a salacious thing to ask. So hopefully they just showed a lot of that footage, and that's not the main thing the experts asked them about. I think by giving the opposite of what people want is the show, and if they end up together is a plus. You might be right. He does seem nice. The recruiter most likely recruits and enrolls people in clinical trials for pharmaceutical drugs or medical devices. Okay, thanks, Georgie May. Okay. So, okay, do you think these two will make it? Just based off of the information that you have and looking at them in this picture, what do you think? Do you think they'll make it? They seem like two nice people that are still going to clash. I could see that. Because they're both passive, and it's like one is gonna want the other to step up at some point, because if neither one of them make a move, it's just, we're just gonna be sitting up here looking at each other stupid. Tabitha says no. Miracle says no. Tracy says no. Lexi says no, unless they're both too passive to end things. I think she's the one who reminds me of Kate. I could see that. Shoot, he reminds me of Kate too, to be honest. So, okay, I feel the same way as you guys. I don't know if this is going to work, but the only way this could possibly work is if one of them actually takes the reins, possibly. Which, I don't know. They don't seem like that's going to happen. So let's move on. This is Brett and Olivia. I'm going to start with Olivia. Olivia is 30. Her nickname was Miss Sugar and Spice. She is a nurse practitioner and a cat lover. She has plenty of cats, is what it seemed like. She loves Lil Wayne. She made sure to say that plenty of times. Whenever she does karaoke, she does Lil Wayne. She called herself a white girl that loved Lil Wayne. She comes off as very soft-spoken, humble, sweet, but she made it clear that she is not a pushover. And, not talking to her, I didn't talk to her myself, but just from how she presented herself and how she spoke, she seems like, just one of those laid back, sweet ladies that, probably does have a hard time finding someone, because he might try to take advantage of her, might choose the wrong guy. Because sometimes I look at these people and I'm like, it's hard for me. I don't even understand why you're single. You know what I'm saying? Then we have Brett. Brett is 35. And he is called the serial dater. And from that point, when I saw his tagline, I was like, yeah, this doesn't sound promising. Why are y'all choosing somebody who is a serial dater? We're looking for someone who wants commitment. Why are we someone that's a serial okay. He is an IT professional. I believe that's what that is. I can barely read my writing right there. He was previously engaged, and I guess that was a bad breakup or whatever. And he ended up dating 45 women off of an app. He's very cocky, very full of it. That's what I wrote up under his name. Very cocky, very full of it. He had the nerve to say that he wanted someone fit, and his litmus test for fitness was a jiggly arm. But then he went on to say that he used to be fat. So I'm just like, how dare you want somebody who's fit? And there's nothing wrong with wanting someone who's into fitness, but to test them with a jiggly arm, like, what if they are just starting their fitness journey? What if you could be the one to help them want to start a fitness journey? You know what I'm saying? Like, he also brought up the fact that he dated a bodybuilder and that she was so hot. And it's like, well, how come you're not married to her? Obviously, hot is not all it takes to be in a relationship. And yes, he did not need to be chosen at all. I don't understand why Brett was chosen in the first place. And then there were some really odd clips of him. It was previews for the next episode. He was low-key trying to flirt with one of the other, I think it was Dave's or Henry's friend. He was trying to flirt with her low-key, and it was so bad that she had to get up, and he walked, like, everybody walked out just to get away from him. And then he just took off. So somebody said he gives them frat boy vibes. Very much so. And I said before, the other guy gave me Nate. Well, he's giving me Zach mixed with a little bit of Matt. Zach vibes, yes. Sounds very shallow. These clips, that clip was in the second special, not the matchmaking one, but the second one. Basically, Zach all over again. So after hearing this information, do you think these two will make it? I know, serial dater. Serial dater should not be on this show. I think he did say he was attractive. Like, he was very cocky. Like, I wrote that. I made sure to write that down because just the way he was portraying himself, he was just acting like he was just so fine. And I'm just like looking at him like, you all right? You all right? 45 women. Alexis Marie said, you ain't that cute. Your hair's a mess. You look dusty. What's going on here? How could she not like me? I'm hot. Is that his quote? Yeah, very much frat boy, Lexi. So the consensus is no. The consensus for Olivia and Brett is a resounding no. And I agree with everyone in here that it's a resounding no. She won't take no mess, but I feel like that's going to cause them to bump heads. I think they're going to have some of the biggest blow-ups on this show because she doesn't take mess. And he do a lot of this. And he think he deserves a supermodel. And, Olivia is a beautiful woman, but she does not fit his standard. And so that's why I'm thinking he's going to be a Zach, a Matt, or a Luke, or a combination. Because they were not happy with who they were matched with because of looks. And therefore, treated their partner a certain type of way. So far, everybody that we've talked about so far, we've only talked about 3 couples have gotten to know. Yeah, I think, you know, it's the ones that used to be bigger or used to be a nerd. You know, a lot of them go off and, you know, bulk up, gain weight, you know, as far as muscle, and, you know, learn how to dress, you know, get a certain haircut, and then just think there's God's gift to women. It's like a false confidence. It's not true confidence. Squarehead squarehead energy. Yeah, she'll hold her ground. I agree with you, Miracle. I don't think she's gonna let him walk all over her, at least. You know what I'm saying? Because that's an overall sad situation when, you know, you have someone like Kate and Mindy and Amber, and it's like they're just dealing with it, and she don't seem like she gonna deal with that. Yes, Cameron from Love is Blind definitely did it the right way. All right, so it's a resounding no. We're all in agreement. We don't think this is gonna work. So let's move on. Y'all, I'm gonna let y'all know up front. This is my favorite. This one is my favorite so far. Like, I am so excited to see these two. Okay, hold on. My notes for them. Aren't they cute? Okay, this is Miles and Karen. I love them already. Hold on, okay. So Karen is 30 and she's Mrs. Reservations. And she is a consultant, and she made it clear that she's not someone that usually takes risks, but, you know, for this situation, she was willing to put her faith into the experts. She said the last guy that she was with ended up having a baby on her. I believe she said, I didn't write down how long she was with him, but she was with him for like some years, like 3 to 5 years, and 4 years. No, that's not it. But she was with him for like 3 or 5 years, and he ended up having a baby on her. And so she said ever since then, she's always had her walls up. She said she wanted someone older. I think she said like 27 to 37. And then, you know, Pastor Cal was like, you know, what about 26? And so that brings us to Miles, who is 26. And he's Mr. Young and Ready. He works with elementary students, and he's very sensitive. He loves to keep handwritten notes. He seems to be like a very thoughtful sort of guy. At least that's how he presents himself. We don't know until we actually see. But the way he's presenting himself, he seems like that sort of guy that, you know, wants to court the right way. At least that's what he said. He said he doesn't have to have a traditional relationships as far as gender roles, but when it comes to courting a woman, you know, he wants to do everything he can to make her feel special. And, you know, he wants someone outgoing, and she seems like she's kind of shy. So that's another kind of situation where they both seems like they're a little bit passive. Another thing that stuck out to me is that he is good friends with Woody, who was the first guy I mentioned. They're really good friends. So I don't know if this is the first time they've ever brought in 2 friends. But that's interesting, and they just both happen to be Black. But I really like Miles. Like, I know Miles is young, and, you know, she didn't want someone that young. And I see a lot of people, I'm gonna read your comments in a minute, and a lot of y'all might feel like the age gap is too much. But I think if he's mature enough and he's willing to really accept that role. He said he was a principal. Okay, I missed that one. Please don't let him be like Michael from last season. I think he's really a principal, or really who he says he is, because I think he works with Woody, and Woody is a teacher. So I hope that they're legitimate in that aspect. I didn't even think about that. Oh, okay. So there is a age gap. She's 30, he's 26, but you know, I know a lot of people are going to have reservations about that, especially Karen. She already has her walls up, and you know, I'm sure her relationship, you know, the guy was younger and he had a baby on her, so maybe she, you know, feels that way because of it. So we will see. We will see. Let me see what y'all are talking about. Oh, while I'm looking at your comments, y'all also let me know, do you think they will make it? Wasn't she the one in the preview that wasn't attracted to him, or am I thinking about another couple? They actually like altered the voice, and they didn't tell us who it was. So we're gonna have to wait till next week to see actually who that was. But I was very interested to know, like, who is this? Like, she wasn't attracted to him at all, and she was not interested. And whoever sent her his information before she actually got to meet him was dead wrong. But I don't like that she asked for an older man and they gave her someone 3 years younger, right? Brennan and Taylor look cute together too. You're right, Tyronda. I'm just trying to grab onto anything. Both of them are very attractive. And so, you know, when you see people like this, you just want them to look good. But Keith and Iris were very attractive too. And it didn't turn out to be that way. So you're right. They look good together and seem to align on their values and what they want, but she seems to be guarded. You can't blame her considering her ex 5 years cheating at a baby. Exactly. That's something that's hard to open back up after that. The age gap with a man being younger is a high risk for failure. It has never worked on Married at First Sight. Why don't the experts know that? A lot of times I think for these things to work, the guy has to care more and be willing to put the work, and he seems very willing to do that. He seems patient and sensitive. He does. That's why I have hope, because he seems different, y'all. He really do. He really seems different. And even though he's young, some young men are ready. They'll be like Greg and Deanna, hopefully. I know. IDK have to watch them as a couple, but 26 is young. 26 is young. He said he was a principal. I already read that one. Y'all gotta quit. I think his sensitivity is going to balance with her reservations and will help her. On the special, they compared this couple to Jeff D and Shanice, which I kind of wish they wouldn't have done that, because their relationship was a little toxic. But they compared them in that Jeff D was very reserved, and Shanice was like all in, and it's kind of flipped. Like Miles is the one who's all in, and Karen is the one who's kind of like reserved. So, you know, that was an interesting comparison. I kind of wish they wouldn't have done that though. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. 2 friends on the show. Oh God, don't be Michael and Brandon. I know, right? Let me see. Derek was mature, and I think he was young. Yeah, I think Derek was 26 too. I didn't hear him say principal. He's a pretty young principal, if so. That's true too. I'm trying to think, because that dude seemed kind of young for a principal, but I think he's an elementary principal. So maybe they don't have to go through as much as like a high school principal would. Okay, they look cute. They do. People lie. Yeah, you gotta look at last season, Tatiana, if you want to see somebody lying. Look at last season, or look at my reviews from last season. Yeah, there are some overachievers. He said that he had 2 degrees. and he's working on another degree. So I think he's just like ambitious, like a go-getter. Tyronda says she thinks they will make it. Miracle says, I think they might pull it out. Let's hope, because it's not looking good for any of the other couples. I'm hoping they work too, says Honey. Keep hope alive, but this isn't working. Oh, Kimberly. Yomikun, I'm sorry if I messed that up, says they seem like they're gonna work. Nurse says she was not interested in having children, but was matched with a man who wants children. Our experts are wicked. Yeah, that's wicked. That is pretty sinister. Kids are a deal breaker. Okay, so I'm gonna put my stamp of approval on this one. Even though they have some things against them, we'll see. I really have high hopes, though. So finally, we're going to move on to Amelia and Bennett. And they are the most eccentric couple, I believe, that's ever been on this show. I'm very, very interested to see how this is going to work. They are different. They're quirky. They're eccentric, both of them. And neither one of them seem like they would do a show like this, honestly. Like they're so out there. They don't seem like they would want someone to choose their partner for them. You know what I mean? Like they seem like the type to be like, oh, I'm gonna let the universe help me find someone. I don't know. They seem like that type. But let's talk about it. Bennett is 28 and he is the romantic. He has a master's degree in theater. He is an artistic director. He drives a pedicab, which is like one of those bikes that pulls like a carriage, in New Orleans. And I believe they have it in New York and places like that. He is also a landscape architect. So like he does this and that. He does a little of this, a little of that. Because theater is not going to pay the bills by itself unless you're like high up in Broadway. The most interesting thing to me is that he lives in a tiny house. I don't know if y'all ever heard of tiny houses, but they're like literally exactly what it sounds like. They're like miniature houses that are really compact and minimalistic. And he lives in one that doesn't even have like plumbing or I believe we don't even have lights in it, if I'm not mistaken. But sounds like a lot of hobbies and no job. Anyway. That was funny. Yeah, he doesn't have a bathroom in there. And he have to go to another house to use the bathroom. That was like a red flag for me. Because that's cute for a bachelor, but you about to get married. Something stuck out to me what Pastor Cal said about him. He said he doesn't think he has true direction or plan. And while it's cute to be eccentric, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with being artsy and loving the theater and, having a love for the arts. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being offbeat, but he doesn't have a plan. He seemed to be very go with the flow. And he's about to get married. And that just doesn't seem to be in line with getting married to someone. Nope, I need a full-size house. I think if you're single, fine. But if you're going to be married, we're going to need some space. And a tiny house ain't going to do it for me. I'm with you, LaToya. But anyway, let's talk about Amelia. Amelia is, you would think she was on the exact same page as Bennett, but she actually has more, she has her life together. Because Amelia is 27. She's called the Driven Dreamer. She is a doctor. Well, she just graduated from medical school and she's a resident. And she doesn't, wait, I'm gonna say that next. But she's eccentric and like she does things like, you know, has a one-man band. Like, even though she's a doctor, like she does things like being a one-man band and, you know, dressing up for Mardi Gras and things like that. And then what else? She walks a tightrope. She doesn't mind walking a tightrope. Yeah, she's different in her own kind of way. She says that she moves a lot and she's gonna need someone who doesn't mind, you know, she needs someone who's willing to move a lot because she's not really stationary. And for her residency, she's going to have to, she don't know where she's gonna be placed. So she needs someone who's not gonna care about moving. But one thing that stuck out to me is that she said she doesn't mind being a breadwinner. First, she was like, you know, she does want to be with someone who can take care of themselves because, you know, she's going to be a resident and she's not going to be making a lot of money to begin with. But she doesn't mind being a breadwinner in the long run because her family was non-traditional in that her father was the stay-at-home parent and her mother was the breadwinner. So she doesn't mind being a breadwinner and, you know, allowing the dad to stay at home. So this might be a good situation. He said he's portable. He's portable. You know, he said he likes when he was a kid that, you know, he had a very active, him and his family were close and they, you know, they did eccentric things. He seemed like he would make a good father. You know, he probably could, you know, do fun things with the kids, have them do plays and stuff, take care of the household while she goes out and works. So at first I was like, I don't know, because she's a doctor, but if she doesn't mind being a breadwinner, this might actually be a good matchup because, you know, doctors make pretty good money. So with that being said, y'all let me know, do y'all think they are going to make it? And I'm going to read your comments. She looked like she would put dude in his place if Bennett runs her the wrong way. Okay. Sounds like a lot of hobbies and no job. That is a hilarious comment. I had to read it again. Let me rephrase. He's not a deadbeat, but she's about to be a doctor and he has no career. But she said she'd be cool with a stay-at-home hubby. Right. So that's how I felt too. Like if she was determined to have someone that, you know, made as much as her or more, or at least had a more stable job, then this would be a huge issue. But she said she didn't mind. As long as he can take care of himself for the moment while she's a resident, she doesn't mind having someone that's a stay-at-home husband. Not trying to get off track, Pinky, but speaking of theater, have you seen Hamilton? I have not, but I do want to see it. I heard it was good. He doesn't seem to bring much to the table. He literally doesn't have a pot. Right. They match though, not like Tom who lived in a bus and Lily was not into that. Right. At least their spirits match each other. Like as far as being free spirits, that part is a perfect match. It's just like he doesn't mind, you know, picking up odd jobs here and there, but she wants a stable job. That can be a very, you know, something that can possibly break them up. He's starving for his craft and has no intentions of stopping. Bennett reminds me of Tom from the Miami season who lived on the bus. Poor Lily's face was like, after the wedding, when they pulled up to that bus, I fell out laughing, but I felt her pain. Exactly. Oh, that was, I know. I need a home with enough room for me to get some space if I want. How can I get mad and storm out if I'm still in the same room with nowhere for me to go? Exactly. Exactly. I was just talking about this with my grandmother earlier. Like, whenever I get married, I'm going to need, like, maybe my own office or like something in the house. I need to be able to close the door and lock it. I need to be able to get away from you for a minute. Like, I'm an only child. I'm a loner. I need my space from time to time. Oh, Lord. Y'all are crazy. He's on the show because no woman is dating him. I like that they are eccentric. Me too. Portable like a porta potty. He doesn't have. Naked. They mentioned perfectly a man who doesn't want to work with a woman who wants to support her man. There are plenty of women that won't say it out loud, but do not mind supporting men. I know people in my real life that support a man that does not work and barely takes care of home. So there's plenty of women that do. They don't want to say it out loud, but they do. So it might be more common than you think. She just honest about it. I think they'll make it. Possibly they might work. Honey says no. Yes, yeah, they have potential. This is the only couple that'll make it. Dang, she's quirky. She's quirky like Elizabeth. They'll make it. From income standpoint, it should be a problem. He is educated, so that's what matters, even without the money. Income shouldn't be a problem. Some tiny homes are beautiful and run on solar energy and have plumbing. Okay. See, that gave me I have never sat down and watched like a whole like home tour of tiny houses. I've heard of them. My friend has told me about them. So okay, as long if they have plumbing, that's a relief. But I just don't think I could be in there. This is like Joey from Friends trying to be with Monica. I don't think he's not intelligent though. I think he more so. I don't know if y'all seen Girlfriends, but he reminds me of Lynn from Girlfriends. You know how she had like degree after degree after degree, but she didn't necessarily want to get a job. She's a free spirit that just wants to like, she don't mind living on people's couches. That's what he gives me. He's not dumb, but he just doesn't have a desire to have that sort of success. But I just don't know. I just would think you would have to find someone who's on that very same wavelength. Because there's some people in this world, they don't have to make a lot of money at all. They don't mind living in like a tiny house or, something like that. But they love it. They don't have to have the latest phone or car or accessories. But the only thing that concerns me is that she says she do need him to be making his own money in the meantime. So hopefully he is making some money in the meantime. Nikki does not think they're gonna work. Tyronda thinks they will make it. It's okay if man doesn't work, but they should take care of home though. If she wants him to be a stay-at-home daddy, he needs to cook, clean, and do everything else so that would be expected from a woman. That's a stay-at-home mom. So I don't know if I should say this, but I saw who it was who wasn't attracted to their partner on the first episode, and I'm disappointed. Please do not spoil. Please, 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 please. No spoilers. All right, you guys. So that is all of the couples. Here are all of them on screen. So 3 out of 5 of these people, most people does not think they're gonna work. And the other 2, we're still a little shaky, but I really have high hopes for dang, I can't remember his name. for I believe it was Miles and Karen. I really have high hopes for Miles and Karen. Amelia and Bennett. The other ones are shaky, especially Brett and Olivia. I don't think they have a chance, to be honest, at all. Free spirit, book sense, but with no common sense. Great description. Don't spoil it here, but I want to know, how do we find out? It was on a YouTube video. I'm mad I saw it myself. I wanted to be surprised. Well, I'm sure it's out there. Go to MAFS fan on Instagram, and they put spoilers. I didn't watch the spoilers, but they always have spoilers, and they have true spoilers. So if you really want spoilers, go check out that Instagram. Look at the stories. Brett had the eternal side eye. Yeah, I don't know about Brett. He seems a little bit too superficial and shallow. He's giving very much Zach. All right, you guys. So that's it for Married at First Sight. I don't really have much to say outside of that. I'm surprised I was on here for this long. I really didn't think it was going to stretch out this long. But yes, it's interesting. I cannot wait until next week. I thought I was over Married at First Sight, but I'm back excited for this season. It's in New Orleans. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't get more New Orleans natives. I was surprised not to hear the accents. I love a good New Orleans accent. Woody had a little accent, and I think he's the only one on the show that's actually from New Orleans. But everyone else, there were people from Louisiana and not New Orleans. And New Orleans and Louisiana, they might as well be two different places. But I know a lot of people from New Orleans, and I was excited to see them represented on TV. And it wasn't even that many people. It was like one person. Girl, mad about lack of accent. Now you didn't have to find people that no one could understand, because their accents can be a little thick sometimes, and people might have a hard time understanding. But there are plenty of people that you can understand them just fine. They just have an accent. And I was upset about that. I was waiting. I just knew they were gonna have at least, a couple of couples that was straight up New Orleans, and it just never happened. So anyway, and watch Brett isn't gonna get a divorce. I know, like, what is up with these men? What is up with these men that don't want to be married and don't want to sign these divorce papers? I will never understand that. I don't get it. But yeah, you guys, I don't want to make this too long. Thank you for everyone who showed up. And I will be here next week with a review. Most likely, I'm just going to have a review, and I might go live as well, because I'll go live every week. In case you don't know, I go live on Fridays. So yes, check me out this Friday around 10ish, the same time. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.